You know it. We do love you, Leeds. Hey up, everyone. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds with my good friends Sean and Adam. How you doing, boys?
Great, mate. All good.
We're good. We're good. You?
Yeah, brilliant, mate. I'm really looking forward to this weekend and this show. Look forward to all week, as you guys know. And here's a little video to tell you what's coming up in tonight's Late Night Leeds. Come on. I cannot wait. Go on, mate.
You know, obviously the Leeds salute, right? How many other teams have got a salute you can think of?
Sheffield United manager's trying to adopt this new one, isn't he? What he goes, you fat bastard. Wilder's trying to get that going.
Wilder's.
It's just not working.
Yeah, Wilder's set up, but there you go.
It's just I don't know. It might kick on again. To be fair, it might start becoming a big movement if they lose to Cardiff tomorrow. It might really.
Yeah, it might fight a whole stand.
We'll have to see. Yeah, let's see who's it chat anyway. Danny here as always. Thanks for being here, buddy. Usual suspects. Passion for Leeds, Callum. Sean at Wilcott White's top right. Please go check his channel out. And Danny Rumsey himself. Stephen Horseman Christensen making an ass of himself versus Spurs. Ha ha. Yeah, nice to see we've sold him. I ain't gonna lie. Happy to see the back of him. Stephen Horseman, yeah, mate. 100%. Alan. Evening, guys. Evening, Alan. Come on, Solomon. Indeed. Let's have another great game out of him tomorrow, hopefully. We should win tomorrow, says Alan. But I am fancying the draw for some reason. Hi, everyone, says Linda. Hey, up. Paul, how you doing? Thank you for being here, guys. Top banana, as always. Evening all. Lee, tickle those likes. Thank you very much. Let's get into it, boys. Let's get into it. Before we start with the show. The poll is now live. Bit of an unusual one. So my thought process behind this one, everybody, is when Leeds win the title, when we win the title, might be an if for some of you. Usually, when we win the title, so do Liverpool. So we've put players in there that have played for both. So you've got Ian Rush, you've got Robbie Fowler, you've got Gary McAllister, and Dom Matteo. So I think that's a really good foursome who's played for both clubs. There's a few more in there. Some of them we don't mention. Some of them we do. But those four are the ones for tonight. So go pick your best. Right. Anyways, guys. So now that's all the nuts and bolts done. Let's get into the review for the Preston game. So, Sean, have you got a few stats for us, my friend?
I have a few stats.
Stat man. Love it.
We should be doing after you. Hold on.
I wait all week for that one moment. I love it. Go on, pal.
Get it on. Possession. Leeds 58% possession, massing 20 shots. Only 5 on target though. 6 big chances created, but 5 big chances missed. That'll probably down to Pirro. Expected XG 3.53. Obviously, we should have scored a lot more goals than we did. Passes, we amassed 521 passes, 87% passing accuracy, 21 accurate long balls by Leeds. We also had 37 touches in the Preston box. Compared to Preston, they only had managed 6 touches in our box. They did actually manage to win more duels than we did, with 39 to our 36. Although we did win more ground duels, but only just, with 26 to their 25. And they were dominant aerially with nearly 60% with the aerial duels. Player ratings. Solomon. Every week. Solomon. Top rating 8.7. Nobody can argue with that. He was quality. That's down to his goal and assist. He was also accurate with 4 out of his 5 crosses. He also won 2 out of his 3 ground duels and had a 90% passing accuracy. The lowest in the starting 11 was Brendan Aronson, again 6.8. Although he did have a 92% passing accuracy, but he only managed 5 touches in the opposition box, which I think is poor for a number 10. And he only really made 2 passes into the final third. And he only won 2 of his 9 ground duels. So I think that's similar to what it was last week with Brendan Aronson. And that's it for the stats.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to go back a slide just because I didn't put it on. Just to say, go Adam. I'll put it on it, and even though it's already read about. You're welcome, mate.
For that, I think is the shots, total shots, 20 us, 3 them. I mean, that's sort of underlined, underpins, and shows everything in that game. Dominance.
I mean, Pirro, he had 7 shots and he didn't get 1 on target. That's crazy. I know he hit the bar in it, but that don't count as a shot on target. But
it was the biggest whitewash 2-1 I think I've ever seen. We absolutely mullered them, didn't we?
We don't really normally look at XG, do we? But you're looking at that XG there, nearly 4 XG. It says it all, doesn't it? We should have definitely won that by 3 or 4 goals.
100%. Lineup wise, what we think about lineup wise, Adam?
By the way, just on XG, I think 20 shots, nearly 4 XG. It sounds about right, but sometimes you get 20 shots and you get nowhere near that. So actually, the quality of our chances, the quality of our areas of shots, and etc. was very good as well. Yeah. Lineup was fine. Say I'd just never pick Aronson, balls the life out of me, whatever. But yeah, it was fine. Won the game, and I think the main thing from that as well is, like I say, it's all really tight. And actually, we switched on we actually had a really good performance in that game.
Yeah,
like the players, and a lot of players that looked like they're out of form. Suddenly, all of them started clicking again. And Solomon in particular just looked the player he is, head and shoulders above his level as an attacking threat. Final ball, etc. And that's without Dan James as well. So the only I thought Poirot played really well overall, but did a very good Bamford impression in front of goal. But he led the line really, really well. But yeah, no, it's all good. Ampadu Rodon works. Darlow under those catches, he's so dependable, isn't he? It's brilliant. Like just dropping the 6-yard box, and you can guarantee Melee would be flapping away at them, slapping them 3 yards from goal, moaning at the referee. Anything can happen. Another corner, shot on goal, whatever it may be, goal itself. But Darlow just takes it, catches it, and takes all the pressure off. It's massive.
And that's what you want, innit? That's what, as a defender, I'm assuming, that's what you want from your goalkeeper. You just want him to come and claim the ball. It makes your job easier. There's confidence there. You can see the defenders, Ampadu and Rodon, love him playing in front of Darlow. I think you two touched on it on your previous stream during the week. How confident the other players looking with Darlow there, and has that been an effect on the results that we've got and had over the past few games? And I totally agree. I think it just breathes a bit more confidence through the team. The game itself, I actually thought everybody played really well. Barring Brendan Aronson going down too easy now and again, but and then Firpo I thought he could have done better for that goal that Preston scored. But apart from that, I was really happy with the game. I love the fight. I love how we're really grinding out results, and that's what I want to see. From this Leeds United team, and I think that's going to get us over the line.
Do you know the bizarre thing about the Preston goal is so our attack, our forward line, our defence dropped because you just scored. I think our defence naturally dropped off slightly, and the line dropped deeper, and suddenly Preston had a lot of room to play in front of us all of a sudden, and then they're going at Firpo with pace, and it's hard to stop anyone. Then Firpo isn't the top class defender 1-on-1 either. So, and then I think, to be fair to Farke, he got him over and said, "Look, just move up the pitch 10 yards. Don't drop that deep. That's what's creating all the space for them. Make them make a good ball in behind you. Make them make the play. Don't give it to them." And I think Farke spotted that really early on. He had that word, and he just moved it up, and then the game changed from there. And I say it's only a couple of moments, but actually we from there on out we just dominated the game.
Yeah, I've just watched it back, and you can see the space. You're right there. They did drop quite deep, but they tend to, even if there is space on one side, sometimes they're happy for the opposition to receive it out wide in them areas because the whole team will move across to defend it. And then sometimes it'll be like going back to the Bielsa times. Bielsa would rely on the 1-on-1 duels, so he wouldn't mind the ball going out there as long as you won your duels. And I thought Firpo could have done a lot better there on his 1-on-1 duels. He did backed off. Then he took the wrong way, which a bit too easy. And normally in them situations, you've got a midfielder in there who drops in as well to help out. And the one, I think, like you said, I think we just got caught on the ball, didn't we? And there were just too many spaces.
I think ultimately as well is that it's the wing back in that position. Sometimes a wing back's not the left back's guy, and he's not the left winger's guy, and he ends up in space sometimes. I think that's what happened early on as well. And then I think actually Solomon dropped a little bit deeper and made sure he covered him a little bit more, because your winger has got to take responsibility there. You can't just let him have a run on the left back like he did.
Otherwise, really, did you notice where Solomon was? I didn't even notice where Solomon was.
No, you're right.
He wasn't in shot, was he?
Well, that's the thing. He's not taking responsibility, is he? He's gone right. The wing back must be the fullbacks. He's the only guy on this side of the field, so I haven't got to drop in. But then that guy's got to run. By the way, as well, everything side is a really good finish. He took it really, really well. He could have easily missed, hit it into the crowd, whatever, and then we're not worried about it. Fark has the same conversation, move up 5 yards, 10 yards, whatever it is, and that goal never, and then we just set up the game from there anyway. So it was just a good goal, to be fair. It was just a good finish.
Yeah, it well won it. Yeah,
I think,
and to be honest, we just scored, so.
Yeah,
I think you were all saying, you keep concentrated now, because I think maybe we just lapsed a little bit just after the goal, which is always a dangerous time, isn't it?
I think that's a brilliant mentality as well to come back from that, because you get that high and then you can see that's actually it puts us in really good stead for the rest of the season. And I think the whole thing does. So the form, how well we played, how well the players played, we're in really good stead for the rest of the season. Now it gives us suddenly we're switched on. So
I think Duncan makes a really good point there as well. Like, obviously, we don't seem to be shitting ourselves now every time a corner comes in. I think he's just steadied that back four. I think Strout being out, it seems a massive blow, but I think if we keep Ampadu and Rodon fit, I think that's a back five going forward. Now Bogle and Firpo seem to be back to the usual selves that we've seen all season. I think that's a really, really steady, exciting back five now for the remaining 4 games. And yeah, I don't like saying when we have players injured, it sort of helps us, but we've seen a few times this season and last season when a certain player goes out who we think's a key player, sometimes someone fills in and it seems to be a little bit better. And I know they scored straight after we scored, which was a shame in this game, but I do look at that back five now. I wouldn't want it for a full season. I'm a big Strout fan, but bringing Darlow and Familiar and having Ampadu in there, for Strout, I think that is a really, really good back five at this level, and I think it's a lot more watertight than what we've had all season, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
it is. And you sometimes think, I've just thought then, have we been unlucky with injuries or have we been lucky with injuries?
We've been lucky that his squad's been good enough to cope with injuries, mate. That's where we've been. Because
Daniel Farke has had to make certain changes to the team. That's because of injuries, and it's actually helped us. Like you said, would we be seeing, if Strike were here, we wouldn't be seeing Ampadu and Rodon in that back.
He's never really had to make a big call. The biggest call he's made now is the Ramazani one. Now he's not giving him minutes, but he hasn't made many big calls. When it's come to a point where it's how do you fit him in? There seems to always be an injury. As we get everyone back, there's one go out, and then it ends up where Rothwell will get in minutes, and now you've got it back when everyone's fit again. But Strout drops out, so Ampadu's back in. Like he's never really, last 2 years, whenever there's been a big talking point, he's never really had to worry because there's always been a major injury somewhere. But we've got the squad to deal with it, haven't we, mate? So,
There's knock on, isn't there, as well? Suddenly Tanaka is, rather than playing Ampadu, he's the deeper man all the time. Tanaka with Gruev, he's the one receiving the ball a lot more. Because what happens with Farke's system as well, the second centre midfielder is not the first receiver sometimes. Gruev drops in, doesn't get the ball nearly as much, doesn't have as many touches. So then, Tanaka gets the second centre midfielder, unless you're Rothwell, who serves a real attacking purpose of the drives and the playing the ball through lines, etc. Then someone you can't get lost there. But actually saying that as well, I think Gruev has been really good. He's so dependable. He understands his role. He's a fantastic system player, really good system player.
Yeah, he were really good that game, weren't we? I mean, you asked me last week about Gruev and what I thought of him, and I'm still not sure. We all think he's a CDM, but he ain't, is he? Because he's playing more forward passes than Tanaka. He's playing higher up the field sometimes than Tanaka. Is getting really involved in the forward play. So I do like him as a player, and he were really good against Preston. Really good, and I did say he needed a few games and consistent games, which he's going to get, and I think we'll see best of him. And just hope it now continues with him and Tanaka in there. We just need Tanaka now just to step up a little bit more, because still he won fantastic warrior against Preston. But
no,
I think he's still maybe a bit tired. I don't know. Maybe it's just affecting him a bit much with the amount of games he's played this season. But we're all right. And sometimes that's all we need. We don't need players being 8 and 9 ratings. Sometimes they just need to be a steady 7, and we'll still win games.
Talking about someone. Who are you talking about now, Adam? Go on.
Tanaka again, sorry. It's just like, I think, but the thing is with Tanaka, he's like 33% over any minutes he's ever played in a season. And thankfully now, I think when you can see like 4 games left, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, don't you? So you can still keep putting it in. You can keep mentally, it's, physically is one thing. Being knackered 60 minutes into a match is one thing, but mentally keep putting it in, keep driving through.
Yeah.
I think with the light in the tunnel, I think he can do that now. And the team's clicking much better as well. So I think that helps him as well. And
I think it's also. You were in tears after which game I can't remember now, the Middlesbrough game, because it's so physical as well. Is this league, and I don't think he's used to the physicality of it.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's it, and it is like going into battle every game now, especially for a player like Tanaka who's not used to it. But it's good practice. It's good practice for the Premier League.
When everything were going well for us and we're winning games quite comfortably, he seemed to have an age every time he got the ball, didn't he? Tanaka, no one could get near him. He always looked like he was 2 or 3 steps in front of everybody. As the season's worn on, he's got a little bit leggy and the games have got tighter. He's looked a little bit more human from looking like an absolute machine for 75% of the season. But I'm liking now these last couple of games. Yeah, he hasn't been the Tanaka of old, but you've seen that little bit, especially last game, you've seen a little bit more bite in him now. You can see him fighting his way through. We always talk at Leeds, don't we, about grabbing the game by scruff of neck. And like what Rothwell does, Rothwell's very good at that as a player. Tanaka, last couple of weeks, after a poor 3 or 4 games beforehand, he seems to be doing that now. It took him a while after that criticism from Farke, and I think to take that mantle again. He's not looking as crisp as he did, but he's showing a bit more fighting endeavour, which ultimately you need in England when you're playing in this country, don't you?
Yeah, well, Championship in particular, I think Tanaka oddly will. It's a silly thing to say, really, but I think he might flourish more in the Premier League. You'll have a little bit more time in the ball. People aren't going to be smashing you in the back of the calf or whatever half the time. People do that a lot. They just catch him just as he release the ball, and that doesn't happen in the Premier League because the referees catch it most of the time. You can't do it. So I think ultimately he'll have a little bit more time in the Premier League. There's a little bit more time between games. He can settle down, and I think the Premier League, though it used to be, isn't as fast paced as the Championship anymore. I think it's a slower game. It's much more tactical, much more system based. People don't want to press as high, and so I think he'll have a little bit more time. And probably, all of his class will come back to the fore again because he'll just have a little bit more time on the ball.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yep. Talking about class, Solomon looks like he's back at it. I've been very critical of Solomon. I know we could say he didn't track back for that goal, but in the offensive areas, he looked as good in that game as he's looked at any point this season. Can he maintain? I hope so. I didn't see an upturn in his performance coming after he's looked really leggy. He's looked not at it for 3 or 4 games. I know he's got the quality, but playing 3 games in 7 days, I just didn't expect that third game for him to peak at that level because he will be leggy. He's been on international duty as well, just as much as anyone this season. But when he is on it, Solomon, lads, he is unreal at this level. I mean, that goal, I've seen him talk in an interview afterwards saying he was so happy with that goal in particular because since he got injured at Spurs, that's his goal. That's his go-to goal. That's his thing. Cuts in. We saw it with Somerville. Everyone's got sort of cuts in and bends it in with his right foot. He hasn't felt comfortable. He hasn't done that enough since his injury. And that were like confirmation to him, I'm back. And I actually think you'll see Solomon kick on even more from here because of that confidence. Now he basically said he feels it in his body now, that now he knows he's seen it. He's felt he can do it. Now he's watched himself do it. He's done it. I think now you'll see him kick on again. And I mean, even that ball for Bogle, we've seen it at times this season. He can go down the line more than he normally does. He likes to cut inside, but that odd time he goes down line, or it's great with both feet. When he's in the groove, mate, he is unbelievable at this level. And he went in the groove against Preston, when he, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about the balls in that he puts in, and there were a few crosses that he did, and he puts them in the right areas, in areas where even the defenders could be knocking the ball into their own goal. It's a striker's dream, to be honest. It's just you don't seem to at the minute have a striker who can get on the end of him. I know Pirro unlucky with that one that hit the bar, but even his corners as well. I love his corners at the moment. We're just not getting on the end of them. I love his low centre of gravity, how he doesn't lose the ball. I mean, his passing accuracies, it were off the charts again. Again, he's got the vision as well. You know, I like his vision that he's got. Just to put them balls across where we don't do it enough, to be honest. I saw more of it against Preston than they have in a few games. And that's what we need to be doing, getting them balls in them dangerous areas. Again, the link-up play with Firpo is great, which is what we wanted. That partnership just to reignite a little bit more. But yeah, and he's happy at Leeds, you know, and he said he's happy, and I hope we can get it over the line if we wanted to sign him next season. I know Everton are sniffing around out there, but yeah, I'd love him if we could keep him for next season, definitely.
Do you think, Adam, with that?
I think, I mean, like, Solomon, like, I think he's definitely top 3 most talented footballers in the team, like out and out footballer. Like his manipulation of the ball, the way he can move the ball, the way he strikes the football. Like you say, Sean, he can just get that half yard and the whips in those crosses. No one else can get near that. Like how good he is at those balls. And when he was on it earlier in the season, his ball retention is really good. He knows when to try and go past someone. Lately, he's not been doing that as much. He's not been attacking people. And I think that's a lot with the team against Preston. Whatever Farke did, and I don't think he's gone, oh, now lads, now the time to attack. Something obviously about the mentality. He's got into them all. Or his team, whoever it was, and it'd be Farke up there, and made sure. And suddenly, everyone's attacking freer. Like the fullbacks were getting further forward. Bogle, and there was a freedom to what they did. Like the shackle's been let off somehow, which is a really clever thing at this time of season because that's whenever it usually gets really tight. I thought we went the other way, so I hope we still see. I think we will still see it against Oxford. To be fair, depending how Sheffield United and Burnley do, because they will know those results. I know, Matty, we discussed the season about how other results affect that game. I think now we'll get into it a little bit more. You know, if Sheffield United don't win, I think we'll see quite an attacking team or mentality from our team against Oxford. And I think again, so Solomon's like been poor for a while. And like you said, mate, you know, how's he going to get back into it? Why on earth would it just click again? But I think whatever Farke's done that week, it just clicks a load of players into gear. So whatever he's done that week, it's been brilliant by him, to be fair.
100%, mate, 100%. Gloves are off, sweet science. Imagine the manager knew Solomon could come good. All these fans calling for Farke's head and how Rama should be playing instead. Someone might actually have a bit more of a clue than us. Tell you what, Gloves, I understand your point, mate, but I'm telling you now, guaranteed Ramazani just scored 4, but we'll move on.
By the way, that's not the point either, is it? No one's saying Ramazani's got to play ahead of. I know that probably might not been necessarily aimed at us, but
I know.
Oh, Ramazani must be ahead of Solomon, and we just want to utilise Ramazani more and make use of his talent.
I just want to see Ramazani get like some minutes.
It's not been ineffective in games. It's just he's not hit the heights of what we've seen, you know, previously. And sometimes you do need to keep players in the team to play them back into form. I think Sheffield United's got that issue at the minute, but they've got a full team who are out of form, so you can't actually change them all. So, you know, the odd player now and again who has a dip in form isn't a major issue. And the Ramazani thing, it's just the fact that he's not even getting any minutes anyway. You know,
I mean, the Ramazani thing, regardless, we've not found a way to utilise a really talented footballer since he got injured against Watford, and that's the thing for me. That's it.
What else to touch on the Preston game other than it was just an outstanding performance as well as the 3 points? What to touch on?
No, all good.
I was sat watching it, right, and before game I just thought how good that pitch looks in the sunshine. The pitch looked immaculate, didn't it? It's just a shame we couldn't be there, but it's just what we needed, wasn't it? We just need to carry it on now.
Yeah,
right. Well, mate, I'm going to bring up now the predictor table, Adam. So you can have a chin about this again.
There was a few points made up in Sean this way. Obviously, everyone got the. So I'll start from the beginning. So you get 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for correct result, 1 point for a goal scorer. As you can see, Sean is top. He didn't get a correct score this week. I think who got the correct score? I think Stephen Horsman and Nigel and Top Banana. I think they all got the correct score this week. Actually, so there's 3 of them. But none of them got the goal score. I don't think. So Sean is still top. Is his lead insurmountable mathematically? Potentially.
Has Jamie stopped playing?
But do keep playing.
Jamie stopped playing now.
He's in there somewhere. He's one of that small.
Matty.
I
I don't
mate.
know, he didn't spoil him, mate. It doesn't
That's
matter.
okay.
Like, to be fair, like me and Sean are top on literally. I mean, to be fair, Sean's top because he's got 5 correct scores. That's unbelievable. I'm second because I play it every week because I'm here. You know, if other people had played it every week, they'd probably be closer. But Matty has played it every week and he's not. So reinstate what you will, everyone. But yeah, so and this week everyone's got to get in their scoreline and goal scorer for the who playing Oxford game, and a scoreline and a goal scorer for the Stoke game on Monday. Both those games are before our next
I need
Late
to
Night
get mine
Leeds.
in then, don't I?
So yeah,
You do, mate. You do.
I haven't even thought about this.
I haven't even thought about Stoke.
Let's not go into it yet. Yeah, that's later on.
No, I'm just thinking of my score predictions.
He's got to go a prediction.
Yeah, I suppose. Right, everyone. You want to put them in now or?
Yeah. Get your predictions in now.
Get your score predictions in. Please put down what game it's for. Please put a goal scorer. So yeah, I'm gonna type mine in. So I'm gonna go Oxford 0, Leeds 2.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna go Piro. And then I'm gonna go Leeds. Gonna serve these up a nice 4-0 batting. 4-0 against Stoke. I'm gonna go
no one else do that. You know that won't be right.
3-0 Leeds.
Score predictions in both games, please, and one goal scorer.
I'm not writing mine in. I'm going 2-0 both games, and I'm going pro both games. There you go. Simplify the whole thing.
There you go. I think Piro's going to turn it around. I think he played so well against Preston. I think he's going to nick a couple of goals, these coming games. I really do. Really, really do. Andy Rowe, who's calling the shots, Matty? Farker or Prague? Farker was pressured to drop Milner. There's something to say Farker's pulling the strings. What do you think, Adam?
Farker. All of the strings and then some more.
He wasn't pressured into dropping Milner. He had no choice.
You were pressured by Melior's poor performances, mate.
Pressured by Melior himself.
If you're pressured into dropping Melier, then you'd be mad not to pressure him months ago. Like why would this pressure? Like Fark's a smart enough guy to work out this is it. This is the end of the line here. I can't keep backing him. And that was it.
Yeah, 100%. Right, I'm looking forward to this one. So, as you know, everybody, we do a poll every week. We've still got a poll currently going, ex-Leeds and Liverpool players. But last week's winner didn't play many games for Leeds. We'll get into that with Sean. But last week's winner was James Milner. So let's have a watch this video that good friend Adam at the bottom of your screen has made, as he does every week. This is a brilliant one. So let's watch this one.
James Milner, 20 years a professional football Premier League. Sam.
Exciting when he came through. Do you remember him coming through?
I was at the game when he came on.
Yeah. Never. Yeah. Look how young he looks, man. Look how young he looks.
I've got to ask a question. I forgot. Hang on. We'll do it in a second. Wait for everyone. There you go. Who's the ball player at the back? Answer in the chat.
Who's the ball player at the back? Yeah. No cheating.
Great goal, this, by the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, look at that. Look at that.
SIE on his arse, World Cup winner. Look at that.
Look at that.
SIE. It's a proper finish, that, isn't it? Like, it's a really good goal.
A couple of people are already saying Lukic.
Oh, well done, lads.
Look at this for the finish. Just back post. Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of skill from Smith with his head as well, heading it past someone.
Absolutely.
Jason Wilcox, good player in his own right.
I didn't realise how, looking back now, how good of
kit.
a finish it was. Yeah, it was fucking brilliant kit.
Champions League, 3-time league winner.
Just won everything, hasn't they?
Yeah, mate. What a career.
What an absolute legend, mate. Like, maybe not for Leeds United, but a Premier League legend, albeit, you know what I mean? And I said to you earlier when I watched that video for the first time, we see a lot of people, leave Leeds, not have a good reputation with Leeds fans, not potentially speak highly of Leeds because of the turmoil they maybe seen at the club or what they're left under. He epitomises Leeds. He's still a massive Leeds fan. He's vocal about that. and the career he's had, as a Leeds lad myself, it makes me proud. You know, I watched him all these years for other clubs, unfortunately, but to still be playing in Premier League, 20 years, I think it is now, as a Premier League player, it's incredible. Look at what he's won. Look at the clubs he's played for. He's played for so many top clubs, played so many games for England, which I'm sure Sean knows all his stats, but just incredible to see someone come through. Unfortunate where we were as a club that we weren't able to keep that talent, which we know we've let a lot of people go, but he's right up there at the top of the tree of the talented players we've had. Granted, I mean, you know, you've got to look at his career path, and outstanding servant of the game, and a Premier League legend, probably, if not a Leeds legend.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, what did we were at Leeds from the age of 10, weren't we? So really, really young, coming on at 16 against West Ham back in November 2002. He actually became first youngest goal scorer as well, wasn't it? In that same year as well.
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was. He just epitomises a professional footballer. He takes the game so seriously, takes his fitness so seriously. He don't drink. He's fluent in Spanish. You know, he's a right family man. He's got his kids speaking Spanish as well. For Leeds, like you just said, we wish had just kept hold of him a little bit longer. He only managed 48 appearances, scoring 5 goals. He did actually go to Swindon Town on loan during his time at Leeds. Yeah, but he only made 6 appearances at Swindon Town before he's moved to Newcastle, where he made 136 appearances for Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah. Then he went to Villa, 100 times for Villa, scoring 17 goals. Then he's, a big move to Manchester City, 203 games for Manchester City, scoring 18 goals. Then another move to Liverpool, 332 games for Liverpool, scoring 26 goals. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? That's a massive amount of numbers. And obviously he's at Brighton now, and he's nearly touching 900 games.
Mental, mate. It's mental.
And he could probably still go on, because he looks after himself so much. Yeah, honours, like he's won everything. He's won everything. Internationally, 61 caps for England, which is good for any professional footballer. I think it says here, he's got 635 Premier League appearances, and that's second behind Gareth Barry. So, and he's still making these appearances. So,
God, 22 years as a pro.
Yeah, what an actual professional he is.
How's Gareth Barry creeped into the most Premier League appearances? Nuts, isn't it? Like,
I know, I haven't even looked at that, but yeah, Gareth Barry, 653 appearances, Premier League appearances, crazy. Premier League, yeah. Yep.
James Milner's just a machine. When I was doing the highlights thing, I was going to list like the positions he's played, but I think you just list every single position. Like, it's funny. Like, I think if you took talent wise, I don't know how many people pick him out as one of the most talented players to ever come through Leeds Academy. But a career wise, there's not going to be a lot better, like recent times anyway. Just unbelievably, just a driven footballer, wasn't he? I think he's always going to reach elite level just because his mentality. Again, he's just a tough guy. Plays football, enjoys football, runs around, and obviously he's a really good footballer as well. But when he was at Leeds, he wasn't. I mean, what was he, 16 when he came in? He wasn't.
16.
I think, I thought that was a little bit too early for him. It was really exciting because Wayne Rooney was breaking through at Everton at the same time. Then we had our own one.
Yep.
And he scored a goal, and it was a little, and it wasn't quite a settled side at that time, or was in and out. But he's he's really good. I mean, the career is incredible.
You just want his age, though, Adam. We're how good he was at that age as well. We were all so excited to have this young, like you just said, then his own little Wayne Rooney, doing bits on the field against these, top professional athletes and footballers.
Would you have him back next season if we were in Prem, even though he'd be 65-year-old?
He's 40, isn't he? He'll be 40, I think.
Nah.
I'd have him back. I'd have him back as a squad player, 100%.
I would have done it last season, I think, because he was still. He's not really played this year now. I think he might be one too far potentially. Don't know.
I'd have him back 100%.
I would have loved to. I would have loved to get him the start of this season for the Championship. I think we couldn't quite afford him, but I would have loved that.
I think if we'd have gone up, it'd have been a potential talking point. With him moving to Brighton, maybe he'd have moved to Leeds if we'd have gone up last season.
Absolutely, that stage, yeah.
But I mean, his durability in terms of his position, Where's he played? He's played on both wings. I think he's played in centre midfield. Obviously, he's played at right back. I've seen him play at left back. I don't know if he's ever played centre half or centre mid. He probably wouldn't surprise me if he has. He's almost filled in at every single point, and he's never looked out of place. He's one of them players who you'll get like Dallas. He's like I wouldn't say a better Dallas, but he's played. You've got to say that really in terms of where he's been. But he's that Swiss Army knife. He can fill in at any role, and you don't really get a drop off in performance from the player he's filling in for. Whether he's right foot, left foot, it doesn't really matter for Milner.
He come through as a winger, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a winger.
And then, but he played centre midfield quite a lot in Liverpool because he's midfield free. So it's a bit different role. It actually worked really well for him. But yeah, so he played quite a lot there. So I think probably striker and centre back. He's probably played striker at some stage, but striker and centre back zone 2 he hasn't really played, I think.
Yeah. Unbelievable player. So yeah, it was nice to talk about a youngster coming through. And I really, big fan of James Milner myself. So moving on to question of the week, which is very close to talking about the previews of the Oxford and Stoke, which we'll get into. But question of the week: where will we be come the end of Monday night? I hope drunk, really, really drunk. And I'm only going to be drinking to that level if we got promoted. I'm not going to wallow in self-pity, and I'm not a big drinker, so I'm not going to drown my sorrows if it don't go our way. But if we win and they don't, and we go up come Monday night, I will be absolutely shit-faced. You'll see me at Peacock. I'll look an absolute tool. A bit like I do right now, but with my top off, a bit more pissed than I am now. So, come and say hi or give me the wide berth. We'll see what mood I'm in come Monday.
Or pick him up off the floor.
Pick me up at the floor and put me in a taxi, please.
We'll need a few people.
I'm going to start off. Obviously, we'll look at the Oxford and Stoke game in a little bit more detail, I suppose, with preview coming up after. But just in terms of tomorrow and Monday, I'm thinking we get 6 points, which I've seen a lot of people say they take a point tomorrow. I aren't gonna. What I will say, lads, you see me lose my head when we draw and drop points this season, or in tight games and stuff. And I won't lose my head if we only get a point tomorrow. I won't. But I believe we get 6, and I just do not see a world at all where Sheffield United get 6. I think they might win tomorrow. They may even draw at Turf Moor, but that's enough for us to see us up on Monday night. I don't envisage any situation where they get more than 4 points and we get less than 6. So in my head, it's done. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts without really diving into the nuts and bolts of the Oxford and Stoke game. Just a generalisation. Where do you think the points are going? Leeds, Burnley, Sheffield United.
You know what's horrible about it? That if we do get a point and Sheffield United win, they're 3 points behind us all of a sudden. It's like straight. It's tight. Don't get me wrong. We've got enough. A goal difference means they can't catch us in one game, but suddenly it's tight again. But if they lose against Burnley and we're up, I think we'll beat Stoke. There's no doubt about it. So if Sheffield United lose neither game, we're up. I think because you say we only need a point tomorrow, then, and there's every chance we get 3. I mean, Oxford are really good this season, but I think I think we'll probably be up by the end of Monday. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I'm so confident we're going to get 2 wins this weekend, and I can't see Sheffield United picking up points against Burnley. Even Cardiff, look at how they're playing. That they're not playing well. They've got low confidence. Wilder's making wrong decisions. They drop points against Cardiff. We beat Oxford. That's more pressure on Sheffield United as well. Then they've got to go Burnley. This pressure's on them. We just need to keep doing bits. And I do think I'm so confident. Well, I'm about 80% at the minute. I dare go the full course.
Just go.
Because it's heartbreaking, Matty. It's heartbreaking.
It is, but it'll be heartbreaking anyway, mate. Even if you don't think we do it, it's still gonna be heartbroken.
I am confident. I'm more confident now than I was last week. Just by the Sheffield United drop off, but I'm nearly there. And
that's the worry, Skip, isn't it? I mean, Sean, when you look at what Skip said there, he's very pessimistic due to the previous seasons. Worry that we lose tomorrow and Blades win. That's the difference. Like you said, Adam, it feels at minute we're so clear 5 points. Away at Oxford is a very tricky game. Usually for Leeds United, it's the sort of game that we'd come unstuck against. Yeah. And if they do win, which I think they will, all of a sudden there's only 2 points in it. So I understand the pessimism, but I don't foresee a world where Sheffield United now finish above Leeds United, how everything's happened. But then again, I didn't foresee Manor Solomon kicking on only, last week and having the performance he had. But I just don't see how you can be where you are now as a Sheffield United player. Seeing your manager lose his head like that, and how they could pick themselves up to win more points in the next 4 games, 5 more points better than what Leeds United can in only 4 games. I don't see how that happens. I mean, Wilder's lost his shit on it, and as a manager, on this channel we've give Farker a little bit of stick when it's been just and deserved for me. Not much, but we've touched on it. You know, that's not after way. But what I'll say is, Farker, he's done a few unprecedented things in press conferences, calling players out. He hasn't done anything too extravagant. When he knows, does Farker how to get a team out of this division, right? He knows. I've spoken about the process he'll have done many times with teams. You've got Sheffield United now currently looking at their manager, seeing that Daniel Farker is going to be so calm, cool, and collected round that dressing room. He's going to know how to act in this situation. For me, Wilder is wild. It's his name. He's absolutely wild. And you want to see your manager, massively. You want to see your manager. You want to look at your manager, don't you, and believe what he says. I've called out Farker for this and said when it was going wrong, how's he going to turn it round? For me, these last 2 games, he's turned it round. I think Farker's been a massive reason why we've gained these last 2 wins. Dropping Melier, all the stuff we've done in these last 2 games, I'm giving Farker credit for. I think when you look at your manager, he knows how to handle this situation. Wilder's bottled it for me. So how do they get, in 4 games, lads, when there's only 12 points available, how do they get 5 more points than Leeds United? This is what you've got to think.
They won't think they can. But that's why the pressure might be off them, because they probably think, like we can't, it's really unlikely we do it. That's why the pressure might be off a little bit. And that's what we had a discussion with, is it Bosnas? Is that who's, the other day? And along those lines, the pressure could be, if Wilder plays it right, the pressure could be off them. But by the way, like any nerves we're feeling is about going up this weekend. If you look at the table, if Sheffield United win both games and we somehow only get a point out of 2 games, we're still above them. We're the same points, and we have goal difference. That's like worst case scenario. We'll still be in our hands if we get 1 point this weekend. We're in such a strong position. Like tomorrow's tricky, absolutely 100%. But we are putting the much better football team on that pitch. I know that what that stands for this time of season is about mentality, really. But we are putting the talented footballers. Probably 11 of the most talented footballers from both teams are Leeds United players. In every position, you pick 11 against Oxford, it's Leeds United 1 to 11. So it's on that basis we just win, right? But I think that I say they can. Well, we're not getting to that yet, but I just don't think no matter what, it's about going. And he knows about this weekend, but we're in such a strong position. I can't see us fucking this up. Surely,
I think tomorrow night's the easiest game because.
Really?
Yeah, because we know the pressure at Ellen Road. We know, in front of his own fans, the pressure is there. It'll be eased off tomorrow night. So I think the Stoke game is going to be the more trickiest game.
I disagree with that, mate.
Looking at how Oxford are playing and doing as well, that gives me confidence. We talk about pressure. We were all questioning Daniel Farker when he was saying, "I'm 100% certain Leeds will be in Premier League," and we all thought that would him being. Oh no, he's under pressure. He's saying things like that.
I did.
Yeah, we did. I thought it as well.
I did.
I do,
but I don't think it's as dramatic as obviously what Wilder's
But then you see Wilder, and that is a man under pressure, and he's crumbling. Daniel Farker's the coolest man, and I said it in my last video. Him and Parker at Burnley, they're the coolest men. They've got the coolest heads, and it's showing. Wilder's making it sounds like it's a Sheffield United bloody stream. They've done it. We were talking about them, but he's making the wrong decisions. He is. You listen to some of their fans, and he's not rotating the squad. He's not. He's playing players that are out of form massively. We've all had these questions as well with Daniel Farker. But
it's mad when you look at their videos and you look at their social media, all the comments their fans are saying is what we were saying in our bad run. Yeah. Obviously, it's just a universal language, isn't it? When your team,
we were drawing games,
all these
Matty.
Things get said. Oh no, no. I mean, we've not lost back-to-back games this season. We've barely lost. To be fair, they've lost so many games. But I've seen a lot of content creators, a lot of people, general fans, just talking, saying. This had to happen for Sheffield United at some point. I didn't think it would happen when you get down to the last 7 games. You could have never foreseen a side as good as they've been at times this season in terms of the winning runs and undefeated runs, going 3 games without a win, without a point. It's ridiculous to ever foresee that. But a lot of people say it had to end at some point because they've been robbing teams of points all season because of how poor they've played. When you actually look at how they've played all season, even Burnley up until January as well, Burnley as well. But their fan bases have been very unhappy with how the side's actually physically playing. But because they've been picking up points, it hasn't really mattered. Where we've seen pretty good football this year, to be fair. You know, we had a few moans and groans last season at a style of play. This season we've played well up until a couple of months ago, really, when it sort of dried up a bit. We've had a decent chunk of this season watching the team play well and win points. Those two sides were picking up the points, but never really putting a performance in. So is it a surprise that they've slipped up, really? I'm surprised.
We've been spoiled a little bit because, you know, the games that we've seen, you know, the 7-0s and the big scoring games and how we've played football, and then we just drop off slightly and then we all have a bit of a meltdown, but yet we're still picking up points. But like I said, Sheffield United have played like that all season.
Yeah,
so really, we're in a good place.
As you say, they've been poor in a lot of games. They've given up possession, they've given up XG, and they've come out on the right side of it, winning by 1 goal, etc. So a lot of stats guys will tell you actually this run was probably coming. And they might not have done it, but they have. Like, if you look at, so they do like an XG table, don't they? Which is, you know, whatever. Like, XG is not the be all and end all of everything, of course not. But it's an indicator because it's a fair thing because everyone's compared to the same thing. It's XG, it's fine. So an XG for and XG against, and they tell you how many points you'd have in your table based on every single game. So Leeds would have 90 points now. So they're underperformed by 2 points on the XG table. Sheffield United would have 67. Would be what 23 above them if it was by the XGs. So the underlying a lot of this, they're miles outperforming what they're. And I say XG isn't the be all and end all, but it can be a comparison because it's fair then. So and actually they are miles underperforming. And this was probably coming. And you know, Wilder, the players. I think he's been making too many changes, not enough changes, wrong changes. He's not, you know, he's a manager that was, by the way, Wilder's a top class manager years ago when he was doing the 3 at the back, marauding centre backs. Yeah. It was brilliant. It was even Bielsa was saying, wow, this is amazing. Like it's really innovative football. But for some reason, he's gone back to this 4-2-3-1, bit stagnant, and it's just not working. Unless Gus Hamer scores one from 25 yards, there's not much in them. And I think I say the pressure could be off, but I'm not sure. So against Cardiff, I can easily see Cardiff now been saying this on tomorrow. Easily,
I can't. But could you imagine if they do that, mate? I mean, you looked at those sides have lost to those last 3. It's a shocking run of easy games that they've dropped points in. Really, if they met that Cardiff as well, but it's such a big leveler in it, equality when you get to this end of the season. I mean, I don't gamble, but I bet there are many accumulators coming in a minute because the golfing quality might be there. But when you're fighting 2-0 for everything at bottom of the table, it's such a leveler of quality in terms of. They need every point they can get, so chances are you get a lot of these results this time of season. PSF makes a good point. I know he's been quite vocal on this. Oh, come on. If it wasn't for Sheffield, we'd be under some serious pressure. Let's just accept our good fortune, still promotion. Farker has been fortunate. Well, don't get me wrong, as a fan base, we've been fortunate that they've dropped, 9 points on offer. I mean, a lot of people say, you've got to credit Leeds for it. But you have, because we've still, they've opened that door and we've walked through it and got 7 points out of those 9 games where they've, are those 9 points available. So we've done our bit, but still, it has been a massive turn of fortune that they haven't received 1 point out of 9 available. Of course it is, but we've got to take advantage of that and bury him now. We've got to just bury him. We've done really well up to now. We've got 2 favourable fixtures from here, where Oxford isn't easy, but it's doable for Leeds United. We've got everything to play for. I mean, people say all the time, don't know, it's a tricky game. They've got this bullshit. We've got to go win this now. We're top at league. The chance is there for Premier League football. So Oxford away, and then a Monday at home to Stoke. I think it's 2 very favourable fixtures. This could have been Sheffield United and Sunderland back to back, like it was only 2 months ago. We're talking about 2 very winnable games for Leeds United, regardless of why we're in this position. We're in this position because after 42 games, we're the best side in the division. So let's just go fucking do it, Leeds. You know what I mean? That's where my head's at on it. Yeah, we're fortunate, but we've played ourselves into this role as well,
Of course, it's fortunate. Like, no one saw Sheffield United losing 3 games in a row. Like that's the fortunate part. But we are still doing our bit. So, but I like the debates we had weeks ago. I never saw all 3 teams getting 95. This is always going to happen. You don't get 3 teams getting 95 points. So this is, well, maybe having the fast scores, but this is always likely to happen that someone's going to drop off slightly. The drop off has been huge, low. Sheffield United winning 1, drawing 1, losing 1 would have been about right. Something from nowhere, and everyone goes, "Wow, that's a massive drop off." Losing 3 in a row is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Like,
at this stage of the season, it's It's edible, mate.
Imagine being there. Oh, their fans, jeez. Like the problem is, unless they can arrest, I mean, their fans now are probably thinking of just arresting that slide to have some sort of forms taken to playoffs. If I'm a Sheffield United fan, that's all I'm thinking about. 5 points, 12 to play for. You think there's no chance? There's no chance because they know. I mean, Burnley are odds-on favourites on Monday. Like they're good home team, don't concede goals. Sheffield United are in poor form, regardless of what they do against Cardiff. So they're playing for. And we've only got they can get 4 points to get promoted. If they lose against Burnley, so like it's also it's not even in our hands anymore. It's in our pocket. It's in our car. Well,
yeah, it is, mate. Yeah,
it's in our laundry.
We've put Sheffield in the coffin. We just need to hammer the nails in now, and that's it.
Something we haven't really spoke about because obviously we're looking at Sheffield United for that. Obviously, those top two positions. It's them we're focusing on out of the other two. But obviously, a lot of dealings at Watford. You went to game and Leeds played there, but this is a good point. I think Burnley will slip up at Watford. Something we haven't really touched on. Tomorrow could be quite key for potentially winning the title in a couple more games' time because this is a game 100% where Burnley may not pick up all 3 points. Just want to touch on that because it's something we're not really looking at because you're looking at Sheffield.
Do you know the only thing about Watford are so inconsistent. They've got a lot of talented players, but Barr's injured. If Barr came back and he got into really good form again quite quickly, and he's got injured again a couple of games ago, and he's a match because Barr is someone. His fitness is so bad, but talent-wise, young lad, winger, 6'3", just runs through people direct. It's sort of lad that work in the Premier League as a sub. Like he's a really good player, and he's injured. And then Watford don't really have a lot. I mean, Chat for Taz, he's a good player. They've got some good players. Anything can happen down there, but I think Burnley will be too strong for Watford. They're too inconsistent. Like, and they get steamrolled sometimes. Watford, they lose games they shouldn't be losing. Burnley's such favourites in that one.
You see it though. This running now. I love this bit of any season, especially when you're playing for something. All the form, stats, all goes out of the window. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Anything can happen. You know, look at Ipswich last season. The amount of late goals they scored, even though they were playing badly. I think we all played badly, didn't we? Towards back in the last season, Leicester, Ipswich, and ourselves. But just they managed to scrape some wins. It was just some crazy football games, and that's what we love about this game. You know that we're following. It's exciting. It's an exciting time of the season, and
it is.
I just think we've got more than the other teams. That's what I'm so confident. You know, I'm confident we've got enough to get it over the line.
It's mad, isn't it, lads? Because we stress about it and. It's an emotional roller coaster being a Leeds fan, as we know. We're all dead. I mean, look at me. I'm so excited for it, but yeah, it's so nerve wracking. But we had so many years, didn't we, lads, where we were just mid-table mediocrity. Like there was just nothing to play for ever. I mean, I remember having Juve Rosler, bloody call Juve Rosler, and I remember we're about 15 games in, 20 games into the season. He'd already ruled out playoffs. It was already ruled out. You know, you knew where you were, and it was. At best mid-table, you know, you might be 10 points with relegation zone, but you were 15, 20 away from top 6, and it was just an awful time. So, as nerve-wracking as it is, this is why we, follow sport, follow football, love it.
You got to enjoy it. Winning football is like you're looking into League One. I think something like 4 or 5 or 6 of the top 10 in League One have all played Premier League football. Most of them are firmly in League One now. You know, like even Blackpool's, people like that, whoever. You know, you got to enjoy it, like because. By the way, this is really fun. Like, and we won't. If we go to the Premier League, hopefully we do, obviously, and I think we will. And we won't have this sort of fun season for a long time now. Like, there won't be a lot of fun involved. But there'll be a lot of trying to just establish ourselves, and there'll be a lot of grind, and we'll try and play. We'll play a bit more responsible football and a bit longer. It'll be a bit dull, and it'll be great. Oh, Haaland's playing at Ellen Road. Who gives a shit? But we'll be on match day. That's nice. But because it's great watching Haaland, but not when he's playing against you. That's no fun at all. Like he's just running through road on. Oh, great.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
He's not marking a Billy Sharp anymore.
We talk about fortune, though. I mean, come on, we've not had it all our own way this season. We have had the injuries. We've had decisions go against us. Penalties not given.
Offsides.
Melier throwing 3 goals in. No one could have predicted that. So again,
yeah, Sean, we've had a fair share of shit, mate, haven't we? We have to be fair.
Share, and we've come through it. So Farke, it's hard to say Farke's been fortunate this season. Yeah and no. We've had ours, but I think we've just come out of it now. And Sheffield United, they're getting theirs now in full force. You
The
know,
thing is about Farker, I think is that I wouldn't I wouldn't rather have any other manager in the Championship than Farker. Like any other that's right there now. You know, there's
Yep.
talented ones like Carrick, etc. But you just don't know how they're going to get on a Leeds United. It's a massive club. And it's really hard to manage, and you've got to be a big personality. And all the rights and wrongs what Farker does, he is that big personality. Because and you know what? A lot of the wrongs that annoy me are because of his ego, and I think his ego is probably what makes him a good Leeds United manager. I think that's really important. Same time, I still sack him next season. Don't get me wrong, but but what he's done this season deserves complete respect. And I say, everything that's good about it has Farker all over it. Any of the failings and stuff, of course, that's Farker as well. But because it's all Farker, there's no Maraf saying this, that, and the other. I don't think. I think Farker's got full control of the football side of Leeds United. There's no one else above him. So he's creating his own scouting group and everything else. So it's all Farker, and he deserves a lot of praise for what he's done.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
that one by Justin there, I'm glad he's put that up because I was looking last night and I actually had to get ChatGPT to let me know this. Has any manager who's got a team up promoted been sacked? And I can't. There isn't anybody. You know, you had Darren Moore leaving Sheffield Wednesday, but that he left. You know, there's nobody actually been sacked for getting when they've been promoted. Not that I can find. And if anybody can tell me in the chat a manager that's been sacked.
Well, there was Sheffield Wednesday manager last year.
I'll tell you what, though. I bet
it's not being sacked. There's a few players walked away because of disagreements, so they've resigned, but they've not actually been physically sacked after getting promoted.
I bet you there's lots of clubs that wish they had a sacked their manager.
Yeah.
Promotion season, like straight away.
Because
they've done it anyway.
Yeah. Anyways,
just wait until they're relegated to do it again. And by the way, like last two seasons, again, manager or no manager, whatever, it's about transfer windows. You've got to have better transfers. You can't spend Southampton did. They spent 40 million on two players they've come up with that aren't quite good enough for the Premier League. So, like the centre midfielder and centre back, I can't remember the names at the moment. You know, you can't do that. You've got to get that transfer window spot on, regardless of manager. And that's the bigger thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. So, looking at the Oxford game, have you got some stats for us, Sean? Because I'm really intrigued to see what they've got in terms of are they physical, long throw-ins? Are they a big, strong side? What sort of side are we looking to face against Oxford?
I had to do some stats on Oxford.
Well, I want you to tell me something, mate. Shut up, mate. You know you've got a little bit for us.
Yeah, but better than any other Stoke. Go on.
Not Stoke, mate.
Okay, 17th in the league. Played 42, won 12, drawn 12, lost 18. They scored 43 goals, conceded 60 goals. They are 6 points from the drop zone, so they have got something to play for. Last five, they've won 3 and lost 2 in the last 5 games. Most notably, the 1-0 win against Sheffield United, although they did lose 3-1 at home to QPR. Star player at the minute is Jamie Cumming, the goalkeeper. He's third in the league for saves per 90. He's really pulling it out of the bag for him at the moment. And he's also kept 12 clean sheets this season. They're averaging 1.4 goals conceded per 90. So, again, if we've got a shooting boots on, we could score a few goals against them. They are 21st in the league for average possession as well. Now, I looked at the stats when they played Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United had about 75% or 70% possession of the ball. Lots of shots on goal. They don't have a lot of possession, don't Oxford. So, for me, yeah, they're going to try and go long a lot of the time. Which we can deal with that. And this is why I go back to giving us, we can deal with the long balls. We've got Roden and Ampadu, no problem. They don't make a lot of passes in the opposition's half. They hardly made any in when they played Sheffield United in the opposition's half, which were crazy. They've got a massive loss. It's Kieran Brown. He's injured, their central defender. Yeah, he's been doing really well from this season. He's out, so that's a big miss for them. I think Gary Rowett were really downbeat about that loss and injury to him. I just can't see looking at this, and I know I've just said it, stats go out of the window, but looking at that and how Sheffield United played against them, and that was Sheffield United, and they're not playing that well. But yet the stats that Sheffield United managed in that game, come on, if we can do the same, we should smash Oxford tomorrow night.
I think so. Oh, nice one, Sean. I think the chances will get put away. I don't see us being as wasteful for a goal 2 games in a row. But Adam, here's your lineup for the game. I haven't seen it yet. I'm just going to bring it up now. I want to see predicted lineup.
Is that last week?
What I did is I kept because I swapped Gruev and Tanaka. I think Richard was not very happy with me. They had the left foot on the right side because I was lazy. But yeah, it's still the same. It's the same as I had last week. I've got Bamford in still, Perot, and that was. I mean, James, I don't think should be starting. I think he's been back in training, but he's not been out for very long, so I think he probably could. I mean, you might see James, Nonto, Solomon, but I think if James start, I can't see a world where Farke doesn't play Aronson at 10. To be honest, just again, it's a sort of game I can see him getting lost in a bit. Lots of duels, lots of balls hitting, in the air where he just gets pushed around. I like the idea of the 2 up front almost. I think they're not going to try and play through us. So there's not a lot. I think the press up front's important, but it's not important because they're going to try and play it around. I think it's important they've always got pressure on the ball. They can't just freely chip those balls forward into the strikers.
They're not going to have a lot of the ball, are they, Adam?
No, but I think so. The only press part for me really is sort of tepid press, but you got to do it. It's not team press where you just make sure there's some pressure on the ball, so they can't just freely chip balls into the strikers. That's it.
Bamford will do press. Bamford will do pressing, won't he? Anyway,
yeah,
so
I think
is still there.
I think
I just don't think he's fit enough, Bamford, yet. I know, I get it. I totally get it. Because Aronson he's just busy, isn't he? He's just busy as Aronson. He's not anything else. It's I'm not against that. I just don't think he's fit enough in Bamford.
I think, to be honest, I think Farke will start Aronson, and I think James is fit. He'll probably start James well, Nonto back to the bench. And that whole Nonto 10 thing that we're all desperate for a few games ago, we'll just go away again. This is going to be our saving thing. And it's just like, that's done. That's the end.
Is this what you'd like, Adam?
This is what I play,
rather than what you think will happen.
I'd rather start Joseph and then bring Bamford on last 20.
I don't even mind Joseph up front. I like the idea of just that 9 that can run in behind. I think it gives us a different dynamic. It's
that's what Joseph's supposed to be able to do as well, isn't it?
Exactly. I think without James, you've got a little threat in behind. So I think in Pro up front, Nonto on the right, you just haven't got that threat in behind. So I think having a Bamford or a Joseph up front and that threat in behind is quite a stretch.
One thing I like about Pirot as well in that position there. I mean, he had 7 shots against Preston, and I think 3 or 4 of them were out at the edge of the box or outside of the box. He's willing to take them shots from the edge of the area where Brendan Anderson's not. He won't do it, or he's not capable of doing it. So that in itself is a different threat. Like I say, I just don't think I wouldn't be against it. I won't.
I think it's
a fair comment. Like Joseph's not good enough. I disagree, as I say, because I think if you're not in a Farke starting 11, you naturally look like a bad player because you don't get any minutes. And it's not really. You can't judge anyone that's not in a Farke starting 11. They come in for one game, and then they back out. There's no rhythm to any of it.
Joseph's had a lot of minutes this season, though. He might not have had it last.
Joseph was good early season, though. Do you remember against Sheffield Wednesday? The ball he played for, like everyone was raving about him. And then he sort of randomly got dropped. I don't think anything really happened. I thought he was leading the line quite well early season.
He didn't do much wrong, Adam. Pirot won the shirt off him, didn't he, really? I wouldn't say Joseph did anything wrong, but Pirot were outshining him with his 30-minute cameos.
Well, and that's fair enough, isn't it? If someone's scoring every time they come on for 20 minutes, regardless of game state, you can't keep that number 9 off the pitch. No. I would have still liked to have seen it work together, but by that time, Aronson has cemented himself as Mr. Runaround in the 10.
Yeah, I can see chat popping off there about Joseph. It's just different option to Bamford, and maybe but he's not getting, he's getting odd 10 minutes here and there to try and do something. Maybe actually giving him a start, he might do more.
I don't
But
like anything about
don't
Pirlo.
you
He's
listen.
shite.
It's funny, and I'm not saying anyone in the chat saying this, by the way, but I know a lot of people go, "Oh,
Rick
Gelhardt
Mumford,
shit, Gelhardt
what?
shit," and he goes off to Hull, and everyone goes, "Oh, he's a good player." Not everyone,
Yeah.
sorry. Some people say, and some people saying
Yeah.
the truth. Oh, it's just because he's starting games of football. You know,
Exactly.
that's the difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great point,
And
Richard.
if Joseph playing in any other team, he'd probably be smashing it a little bit.
Yeah,
He'd be scoring his goals and getting it.
probably
but
would, mate.
he
Probably would.
hadn't done anything. You've got to agree. He hadn't done anything when he's come on. So you've got to agree with what the chat's saying as well. You know, he
Yeah.
hadn't done anything to deserve a starting spot. It's just we were just talking about the option of playing that two up top, like Adam's saying, where we've either got Bamford or we've got Joseph.
Well, here, lads, will you just stop fucking digging your grave? You're talking shite, pair here. Shut up. Pirlo's starting. Joseph doesn't deserve to play, and Bamford's first time in his life he's not falling a bit. So let's give it another week. Fucking hell, lads. Honestly, chat. What are these? What about?
We're trying to get
What are these? What
promoted
about?
here. What's wrong
Well,
with
just
you
Oh,
two?
my
give an
God.
option. We're trying to keep you on for 2 hours again.
Late night losers. What's going on? Late night losers. Fucking hell. Yeah. True, Richard. Joseph finishing costing a place in the team. Yeah, but I think that's paramount with Pirlo's finishing, winning him this place in the team. I mean, if Pirlo were coming on and not putting the ball in the back of net, he probably would have stuck with Joseph because he offers so much more, or did early on, offered so much more than Pirlo. But I think Pirlo, the whole Pirlo thing, get blown out of proportion. Not score for 8 games, granted. But as a team, we still tend to score a couple of goals a game. Yeah, there's odd outlier, 1-0 away possible. We tend to get goals anyway. If Pirlo didn't score for the next 4 games, but played like he did against Preston, I'd have him starting every game. I couldn't give a shit because he played fantastic.
There's nobody else.
No, there isn't. But it's not like Pirlo to miss them chances game after game after game. He might have gone 8 games now without a goal, but he hadn't had the other 7 games. He weren't having 4 or 5 chances that he missed. Very rarely does he miss sitter after sitter. And some of these chances at Preston, by the way, weren't even sitters. He made them by his good movement. A couple of, he hit the bar. A couple of these seemed big chances, but they were still technically difficult chances to put away. And he still got fairly close.
That he scores tomorrow night.
I
might even do it.
I think he scores.
I think he scores. I've put it in. These are my prediction to score tomorrow night as well. So,
but he gets a lot of stick.
There you go, Ashley Buckland. Yep.
He gets a lot of stick, and I don't think it's been just. He's still his top scorer, isn't he?
Pirlo gets stick, doesn't he? Because he's not a prop. He's not that. He's not a number 9, is he? This modern number 9 leads line by himself, backs into centre backs, elbows, whatever. It runs in behind. He just doesn't do most of that. He doesn't do any of the dirty work. Or he did against Preston suddenly.
He does. Yeah, he did a bit.
A few games where he has done it. So it's not right to say he doesn't do any of that. But that one, he'll let the sun bed. He won't jump for stuff. He'll never win a knock on, for example. He just never does it. So there's that number 9, certain bits and pieces. He just doesn't do the role, and it's fine. That's who he is as a footballer. There's no point in knocking him for that. He is what he is, and is he a better footballer than Joseph right now? Of course he is. But I did some stats when Pro came in the team for Joseph ages ago, whatever that was, and then played. I think they played like X amount of games each. The goals this team was scoring were exactly the same. It was level pegging because Joseph leads line and causes havoc, and he misses chances. Yeah, but the actual team was scoring the same amount of goals. So I understand Joseph, and I know some people say Joseph's shit, whatever. And I don't think that's fair. It's the same missed chances, and that's why he got dropped. That's absolutely fine, of course. Yeah, absolutely. But I think he led the line pretty well.
Yeah, I've just looked there. He made 5 recoveries, 3 defensive actions. Aronson only made 1 recovery, 2 defensive actions.
Lads,
so he's doing more bits in that role than Brendan Aronson is as well. So
lads, what are the rules on the under-21 games? Because I think Justin makes a good point. We saw under Bielsa, you touched on it last week. Rafinha played minutes at under-21s, right? Farker, I think, has pre-planned subs. He will know unless there's some big happening, especially now, say, with Bamford being back, that, let's be fair, Matteo Joseph may not play many minutes now to end the season. We've seen with Ramazani having game after game where he gets no minutes. Why don't we let these players drop into under-21s for match sharpness? Is this not allowed no more? Why does he not do it?
It's deep in that, though, isn't it? So Bielsa had a real thing of the squads would almost train together a lot as well. So there's a lot of crossover. Whereas Farker has 2 very different training regimes, and even DeBayo, for example, doesn't play a lot of under-21 games he could play because he's training with the first team. So that it's deeper than that. Where it's just a mentality and the whole way the club's built. Probably the under-21s don't even see that. Or don't even talk to the overlap. What we're saying here, what team? Oh, the normal team. proper team.
Senior side.
Senior side, thank you, Sean.
Senior.
So I think it's a deeper thing, and absolutely, Joseph playing a few games down 21s makes a lot of sense to me.
It used to be, didn't it used to be under 23s, and then they changed it back to under 21s.
Yeah,
but you're under 21s now. And I think, by the way, I think still the saying that free overs players can play in the under 21s, same as the under 23s. So if you want to put anyone in, you can. Like Gulavogi should have been playing some under 21. A lot of them could have been doing it, getting some minutes. Now, not when it's 3 games a week, don't get me wrong, but quite a few of them could have done it. But it's a mentality that you build up around your squad, that's the under 21s, this is the senior side. If you want to get in the senior side, you've got to work really hard to get even training with us. He doesn't want to mingle it. He doesn't want to mix it at all.
It's like you said, like I think we touched on this a few weeks ago, didn't we? Like you said, Cooper you'd see Cooper come back from injury playing in an under 23s game. Yeah, mixing it with young lads and likes a Rafinha.
Better than no minutes, isn't it? It's better than no minutes, surely. I mean, some of these players are getting no minutes. Or Schmidt not getting any. I mean, don't get me wrong, it hasn't affected Schmidt. He's come straight in every time Schmidt's had minutes. For some reason, he's come from cold to playing at a high level every minute. Even back months ago, every time he got a minute, he looked good. But it's rare for that to happen. Normally,
you've got to remember though, we look at it as though the players aren't playing. They're not stood about not doing anything. You know, they might have what's it called into teams or into club games where they'll create
intra-club
11s, something like that.
I don't think he even does that.
There might be situations where they're doing that. Who knows? You know,
I don't think he does. I think it's a whole mentality thing that he's just separated them out, and he's gone the old days where the under 21s or the under 18s clean the boots, the pro players. Not saying they're doing that necessarily, but I think he's created that old style divide, which is fine if that's what he wants. Because Bielsa was massive, obviously, in the under 21s playing exactly the same style as the senior side. And I think that it was complete. And to say that's why it mingled so much more. And I think Bielsa ultimately did a lot of players with Murderable, so I think he needs to tap probably more into under 21s than Fart does. To be fair.
Yeah, no, 100%. So we won't touch on Stoke game, even though we won't be back on now till after that's played. But yeah, I think we get promoted Monday. That's what we'll say on that. Just want to pick up. I'll go into chat now. So I've been starring a few comments as we've gone through. So Andy Rose just said, and I was talking no flowers given to Darlow. He's Leeds answer, no flash, not flashy, but does the basic. What I'll say on that is, obviously we stream it multiple times, and we did a subscriber show, didn't we, a couple of days ago? So we spoke about Darlow in length on that. So it's one of them. We'll touch on him now. Darlow for me he's been a massive reason why we've turned these poor results into a draw and 2 wins back to back. He's had a couple of hairy moments, but as a goalkeeper, you tend to have that. But he looks really assured. It's no coincidence that we're picking up points now, and the defense looks more not as nervy. We've got someone now who don't flap. We've got someone who can catch, punch, whatever he's doing at the minute. Darlow is doing all the basics very, very well, Andy, which is, you're right to point out. Melier did not do the basics well, and you can just see it's uplifted the fans. That the nerves on the pitch don't seem to be there anymore. There'll be nerves tomorrow, nerves in terms of trying to get promotion, but the basics of being a goalkeeper. Let's be fair, if you're Joe Roden, if you're Ampadu and you're in that side, you see us get a corner, you're going to be thinking, fucking hell. Now, there'll be none of that. There won't be second guessing what the keeper's going to do. They'll be fairly confident that they've got someone who, and that's massive, that you haven't got to think about, have I got to, leave it a yard? Have I got to go up and win this when it comes in? Because you're not too sure what your keeper's going to do. The fact that they're certain in their goalkeeper that'll do the basics right, that's a massive uplift on that team, lads.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled off a good serve as well, second half, didn't he? When they played a good, clever corner, did Preston.
He is a good shot stopper as well, lads. I don't want to just throw that out back.
I didn't like when he rushed out to try and punch that ball and he came out of his area. That would have been
funny, though, wouldn't it?
Melier.
Could have been a red card. Imagine if he'd got a red card. Fucking hell, Melier back in would have been like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, but that was the only mistake. That's the probably only mistake he did, and maybe a couple of kicks. But that's it. I think you don't need to be doing that. But yeah, you've got to. I think us as a fan base are just so more confident, relaxed as well, watching it when it goes and hear them.
What I would say, Sean, if you're going to make a handling error, do it 30 yards from your goal. That's really smart goal. Like I said it the other night, like it's it's not even a penalty, whatever. But it was incredible as well. By the way, you can see he's running. You see, and it was so obvious he was going to handle it outside of the area. It was really, really obvious. Go stop. So why are you still going? But, by the way, Andy, we did talk about Darlow about an hour ago. We did say how good he was. But I say ultimately, yeah, I mean, he's been class, obviously. He's been really good because he's just dependable. He's just doing everything right. But he's better than that. because the way he catches the ball, dropping in the 6-yard box, he catches it. You know, like there's no flapping, and also like I say, the mentality for a defender, you go up for a header, or the ball's coming, and and then the keeper shouts goalkeepers, right? If it's Melier, you think I might just still head this because fuck knows what he's going to do when it gets there. Whereas Darlow shouts keepers, you leave it, you guarantee he's going to catch it, so it's
vocal,
fine.
more vocal, commanding. That one, there were one where he just plucked it out. He just plucked it like with fingertips, wasn't it? And he just it's just stuck. Just
proper,
stuck.
it's proper. But that's his record. He's caught something like 150 or whatever. He's bought more footballs in his career than Melier, even though he played less games. He catches the ball, and it's funny that everyone talks about years and years of he's been coached this, he's been coached to punch it, and do little. Actually, you just get a goalkeeper and then it's used to catch the ball. He just catches the ball. No, coach go, punch it. Darlow go, no. Well, I don't think they are. They'll do what they French style, and obviously Melier's strength is never, as a goalkeeper, Melier's strength's never been about catching the ball.
No, definitely, I love that. Bottom. Lord Shigoraf mentioned earlier, our experienced international should get us on the line. Yeah, Gruever went with the such name. Gruever's brought a bit more stability to our midfield. Darlow's obviously stabilised the defence, and we just need Pinot fan shooting boots. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Gruever fan. How are you feeling? Because he had a bit of a ropey few games a month or two ago. He's looking really solid in there again now, any lads.
I think, Lord, I think there's some of them missed beginning at show, aren't they? We did talk about Gruever, and the more he plays, the better he's going to get, I think. And we did see it beginning of the season when he was spraying them balls left, right, and centre. He's got it in his locker.
Do you think he'll stay inside, lads, when Rothwell comes back, or do you think he will now? Do you think he'll keep it now?
Depends on his performance, Matty.
Yeah, fair.
He deserves it at the moment. He deserves it.
He deserves it. He's playing really well.
I think, as I said earlier, he's just a perfect system player. If you're a manager, you hammer it home with him, and he's always where he's supposed to be. Always, he's always tracking his runner. Yeah, never people drifting off him. He'll always track them. He's a proper system player. He's funny. It's like he's quite limited as a footballer, but even that, like his mentality lately has been quite aggressive in terms of forward thinking, finding a forward pass. He's slotted in really well.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah, a lot of football tomorrow.
There is. Just a quick one, what Skip said earlier as well. Just really quick, guys. Premier League, Ampadu, CDM or centre-back. Premier League, it's got to be CDM. He cannot be third choice centre-half in Premier League, can he, lads?
I think he'd get bitched a little bit in the Premier League as a centre-back.
And I like him at centre-half in this division. I don't mind it all. He's decent, but Prem's a different level, and it needs to be.
He said last week, didn't we? We need a new defender to replace him.
100%. Like I think first and foremost for me, in every signing, you're looking for power, athleticism. I think, especially centre back, you need to get a quicker, stronger centre back from somewhere, and it's so much easier said than done. Ampadu's not either of those things for the Premier League.
You know, Adam to replace Farker next season. Do you fancy it?
I've heard it's going to be free if I have my way. So yeah,
take that.
100%. Skip said, at our current position, would you be happy with second, or do you want to win the league? I'm good with second. What I would say, let me answer first. What I would say is I wouldn't be happy with second, but
I've changed my opinion on this now. I
wouldn't accept second. Right? I don't know. I'll leave you.
I'd accept it. I want top now. I changed it from last week.
If someone offers you second, guaranteed right now.
I don't know, mate. I hate that. I hate it.
Can you ask me on Monday?
I remember, when
suppose
Aronson trying to lift the trophy and didn't achieve it, and someone had to help him. Like it's you won't remember those moments.
There can't be any fan who won't say you're not happy with second right now.
It's hard because we're topping it, and I've already envisaged him lifting trophy, but yeah, it'd be hard not to, I suppose.
Elvedi's been linked a lot, by the way. And I think he's very good on the ball. He's quite good organiser stuff, but again, he hasn't got that athleticism I want as a centre back for me.
Do you still get a trophy for second, lads? Is that right?
You can just make one yourself. It's fine.
Yeah, I think you do.
Well, you can have. You'll give team your Burley Banks' signed thingy instead when.
I think you get a trophy for first. And you get a trophy if you win the playoffs. Second is the only one that doesn't get anything for coming out.
I thought so as well.
90-point trophy. Don't even get that.
Location. Where will the celebration be if we go up? I'm coming from Tel Aviv for the Bristol game. That is class, mate. Well, it's going to be a fair few.
Outside Ellen Road.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming outside Ellen Road Monday night. If it all goes well, you were going to celebrate the promotion. Hopefully Monday, but then you'll hopefully have the Bristol game, won't you, Sean? Where hopefully you're in the stands. Maybe win title. Who knows that day? There'll be Millennium Square, won't there? Probably.
Leeds City Centre, if you're coming over, I'd be there. Yeah.
Leeds City Centre. but it's hard to say what day when it's going to be. You know, it depends when stuff sort of lands. But there could potentially, Sean, be 2 or 3, maybe 4 days of celebrations. So it's gonna. I told our last you have to bear with me for a few weeks.
It's one. I mean, obviously we're struggling for tickets, but if it happens, I'm in a taxi and I'm over to Ellen Road, and
I was speaking to Joe Wayman a couple of hours ago, and he was messaging me about something else, and we were chatting, and he says if it's sealed on Monday, obviously he'll be doing a watch along for Leeds game, then he'll be doing a watch along for Burnley Sheffield United game at full time. If we are up, he's straight in the car and he's meeting me outside Ellen Road, and all you fine folk too. So that's what we're talking now. You're talking like everyone will be tuning for Burnley game. I'll be at the Peacock. I'll be waiting because I aren't moving from Ellen Road if it's on. But you're going to give it an hour and a half, and everyone's just going to start piling towards Ellen Road for that promotion, even though the title might not be sealed at that point. As soon as promotion's sealed, it is going to be bouncing. So I just hope to God it's Monday, because I don't want to go to work on Tuesday. So Stephen said, I think the toughest game left will be Bristol City with potentially. You look at that fixture, it's a tricky one. So we just need to have it sewn up by then, don't we, lads? Which the fact that they're playing each other is a massive help on that one. What else have we got here? Piddo's been out of form, not scored an 8. We've touched on that. Justin Thomas needs to start Bamford. I disagree. We've touched on that. Lee, are you doing any celebration streams, Matty? Well, if I am, it'll be outside Ellen Road, tanked up. So I'm not too sure how good that'll probably be banned, probably be cancelled on YouTube. But there'll be plenty, mate. There'll be a celebration stream, 100%. We'll do a late night Leeds video, probably out of sync with his Thursdays or Fridays, just to get on there and chat. But there'll be plenty. You're not going to be starved of content, are you, lads? If we go up this weekend or whenever,
there'll be loads of celebration streams. We'll all be doing one. Don't you worry.
I'll look the biggest fool. You're going to get the most laughs, I think, from me, because I am absolutely on the verge of just fucking losing plot, man. Honestly. Oh, I feel like I've been in lockdown up till today and I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I'm just, it's pretty scary, actually, what's going through my head at the minute. Lads, next year we are going to the Prem. No, but I see us surviving next season. I see us surviving, whether Farker's in there or not, lads. I think we survive. And then after that, it's about kicking on and trying to do.
Yeah. I think the 49ers want it so much. They're gonna get it right.
I think that's it. The 49ers kind of can't really afford not to get it right. All the investors are all there to sell a European club, so they've got to get there and they've got to stay there. So they're gonna have there's gonna be a lot of money behind it. The whole ground, capacity, everything. Like it's all about going up and being a established Premier League side.
100%.
That's it.
Right, guys. I think that's it. I think that. Everybody, is the stream done? An hour and 22. Oh, we're getting a bit lax, aren't we? It's usually about 4 hours when we're on here.
No, talk about something else.
Just in a wee bringing dildos. I mean, I drink. Yeah, man. Honestly, it's going to be a mad one. It's going to be a mad one.
Dildos. Who doesn't?
I'm just intrigued to know in the chat who's got tickets for the Stoke and Bristol games.
Yeah,
a lot of them can't get them. Who's going?
I've seen a lot today on
if you're selling them, I'll give you £100 for one easy. No problem.
I've seen a lot of these sites, haven't they, who's been buying them and trying to sell them for like £300-400, and it's just disgusting. I don't know how they managed to do it. It was quite funny because I was speaking to Sean the other day. So I mean, I'm going to the Stoke game. Luckily, I've got a ticket from my mate Danny. I'm in Cops. I'm buzzing. The Bristol City game, I missed out on ballot, so I spoke to Sean, and we managed to get tickets as a Bristol City away fan, right? Paid for them, got the ticket confirmation.
We were doing it. Then, we were going to go, weren't we?
We were going to go in Bristol End, and then, as some people might know in chat already, they did a bit of digging, saw where I was from, asked Leeds United. Turns out I've got a history with Leeds United. Cool, who'd have thought it? And yeah, they're refunding me. Should get it in the next 28 days. And yeah, I can't go be a Bristol fan for today. So I'm fuming, absolutely fuming. Put stuff in place, you shit small club that means someone can't do that. Don't give me that little bit of hope.
What a vlog that would have been if we could have got in that end.
Could you imagine?
That away end.
I'd have been kicked out. I wouldn't have been able to be quiet.
You wouldn't. I'd have got beat up, me, because of you. I know.
I've not been awful, but I can't even do an accent, man. I'd have been kicking off.
What is accent?
Like, oh, I can't do it, mate. I don't like it. Just can't do it. Adam, can you do a Bristolian accent?
Oh, I can't remember what it is. I used to work a lot with a company down in Bristol, so I'm sure I could. But yeah, I can't remember. But let's be honest, I can't do a Leeds accent either, so I'll be fine with Bristol end anyway because I'm not from anywhere, so I've been fine.
Make it 250, says Justin. I'll see.
Got a deal, Justin. Have to put it in. Send me, DM me. I'll send you money.
Oh, class. Anyways, right, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, super excited. It's going to be a great weekend. I am sure of it. And I hope everybody has a great bank holiday weekend, regardless of the football. Please do me a favour. There's 88 people in here now. Please go see Sean at Wilco White's. I say it every single stream. We've got Danny.
Do you know what, mate? Don't forget the outro.
I won't, mate. I was going to remember, honestly. Just give me,
it's only
a chance.
Yeah.
I won't really. There's Sean at Wilco White's. Please go check his link out. It's been on,
Give
I
me
think,
some love, boys. Give me
been on
some
160 subs forever, and it's just criminal now at this point.
Yeah.
He needs more subs. So please, there's people in here now watching. Before you turn off, please go. The link is in the description. Click on Sean at Wilco White's. It works so hard on my channel as well to be part of this show alongside Adam. Please go give him some love. He's got a really detailed video on the Oxford game, so go check that out. Really good. Not like me who just comes and blags it. Actually does some background checks, and yeah, he should do a background check on me. I probably won't come on my show anymore, to be fair, but it's one of them. Cheers, guys. Yeah, thanks to everyone in chat's been mint, and please check out Danny and Callum as well on their channels.
And Mark, I will check out the score from last week as well. I will do that.
That's appreciated. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Look after yourselves. Thank you. Bye all. See you later. Come on, Leeds.